Thank you, Mike. Can I begin by asking you to show your appreciation to our spoken word artists, Sarah and Rakaya? Can I thank for organising this event today? Arguably one of the two most interesting things happening in our city today. And if only the Prime Minister's cabinet were as intelligent as Simon Callow's children up there. Look, when it comes to taking action on climate change, Mike is doing some truly amazing work. I also want to pay tribute to Sadiq, not only for Vanity Fair's sponsorship, but for helping to make climate change almost as fashionable as Mike and myself. Seriously, I believe that good culture doesn't just reflect our values, it shapes them. And it's so powerful when publications like Vanity Fair engage with issues like this one to inform their readers and influence their debates. Let's thank Sadiq and Vanity Fair for their contribution as well. You know, it's wonderful as I was coming in with Mike on the tube to see, as I'm sure you'll have, Ice Watch London outside the Bloomberg HQ. You can see other of the icebergs outside the Tate Modern. It's a powerful, melting public artwork representing just one of the effects of climate change. And what's remarkable is you've got an American Londoner bringing a piece of work from a Scandinavian artist, which is Greenlandic iceberg here in the heart of London. A good example of the interconnectivity, but also the interdependence of our planet. At a time, as Mike said, when national governments are showing signs of rowing back and reneging on their climate change obligations, it falls to us to reaffirm and redouble our commitments. Because in the absence of national leadership, it's cities, businesses and civil society that can and must step into the breach to ensure we honour the Paris Agreement and continue our momentum towards a low-carbon world. Indeed, cities are at the forefront of green innovation, developing and delivering the bold policies that are driving the transition to clean energy systems. And in his capacity as the UN Special Envoy for Climate Change, with Bloomberg Philanthropies, and personally, Mike has been supporting businesses, civil society, and cities to accelerate progress in tackling climate change. So let's please show our appreciation to Mike for his friendship to London, but his hard work around the world. You know, here in London, I'm proud we're leading from the front on this issue. Not only because our efforts will mean cleaner air, a greener city, and healthier lives for all Londoners, but because it's simply the right thing to do for our society, our economy, and our planet. So I've set an ambitious target of making London zero carbon by 2050, which would make us the greenest global city. But that's not all. We've published a new report today outlining how London can work to comply with the Paris Agreement. We're introducing the ultra-low emission zone, which will be the toughest emission standard anywhere in the world from this April. We're cleaning up our public transport, buying only electric, hybrid or hydrogen-powered buses. We're hosting our first Climate Action Week next July to showcase the range of tools and technological solutions emerging from London. And we're collaborating with other cities, whether it's with Bengaluru to improve air quality or New York to speed up divestment from fossil fuels. Climate change doesn't respect national borders or city boundaries, so we all have a common interest in coming together to devise solutions. And that's why, regardless of what happens with Brexit, I'm also committed to working with the EU to protect our environment. But you know, the simple truth is that government can't confront this monumental challenge alone. If we're to stand any chance of putting the brakes on climate change, we need business to assume a central role. I know many companies recognize this and are already striving to shrink the size of the carbon footprints. And it gives me huge pleasure to say that 11 international companies we're working with, from Tesco to Lanzec to Siemens and Sky, will be for the first time disclosing the emissions they produce from operations in our city and take action to reduce their emissions and contribute to climate action. Maybe Simon Callows will join those 11 as well. This is a world first and a perfect example of how cities can work hand in hand with the private sector to advance the cause of sustainability. When it comes to climate change, there are some who like to paint business as the problem. But I see business as being absolutely integral to the solution. The only way we're going to tackle climate change effectively is if we work in partnership, and if politicians do everything in their power to harness the energy, ideas and ingenuity of our businesses. Indeed, with the right policies and the right regulatory framework in place, I believe we can unleash the dynamism of our private sector for the good of us all, create new jobs in cutting-edge industries, spurring growth that is green and sustainable, and making real progress in our bid to bring down emissions and clean up our polluted air. Make no mistake, tackling climate change is the greatest moral challenge of our time. It represents an existential threat that leaves the human race with a clear choice between inaction or innovation, tragedy or opportunity. So let's make sure we seize the moment and put ourselves on the right side of history. It won't be easy, but I'm confident that together we can lead the charge and that we can do right by our people, our planet and future generations. Thank you very much.